Today we're working on bookmark.org. Um, this is a application to bookmark different apps. What I need to do today, what I'm working on today is I have this registration form and I need to make it step by step, like a type form thing. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to have multiple live components. Well, I want to turn this into a live view, and then I want one global live view to load different smaller components, like different live components. I'm gonna pull up live component, the dogs, because I'm sure I'm gonna reference them a bunch. So I'm just gonna, I don't think this is what I want. Live component. This is what I want. So I'm just gonna have this here, and I'm just gonna roll with this. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to have, I'm gonna have 3 live components, or 2, just to see if it works. 2 buttons, previous and next, and I want to see if I can change between those. So what I have here, I have a live view. It goes register new, and it loads. I think that's the wrong one. So basically, is this one: bookmark live registration, bookmark web live registration main. So that's what I want to load. So live registration main. And here I have the basic structure for a live view, and let's see if that renders. So that's rendering. Cool. So that's a live view. It's all good. Now what I want to do is I'm going to create a couple of components, and I'm going to see if I can step through those components. The way I'm going to do that, and I don't know if this is the best way, but that's what I'm going to do for now. I'm going to have a map, and I'm going to have the keys of this map to be a component, like a step on this wizard. So first of all, I'm going to ask for a username, and this, I'm going to have it be, I'm going to say what component this is going to be, like the actual component. I'm going to fill this out in a moment. I'm going to say what the next step is going to be, which is going to be email. And I'm going to say what the previous step is going to be, which is going to be nil. My next step is going to be email. I'm going to fill this component next. And the previous component is going to be the username. So essentially what I want to do here is I want to render. Let's start with this one only. We're going to create another component. So it's going to be live bookmark web live registration username, the module do end. So this is going to be bookmark web live registration username, and this is going to be a bookmark web live component. And if I write this correctly, live components require a render, so we're going to implement that. It's going to be a render, and we're just going to say something very simple. A username, and uppercase because I'm like that. So this is going to be the username. Ooh, you're not gonna find it. Okay. Live registration username. User. Let's see. Alias. Bookmark web. Live registration. What? Username. registration main, registration username. I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah, okay, that's there. So that shouldn't have changed anything. And here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna render it. So basically it's just live component. It's gonna be live component. I wanna see what this does. Live. So this is like emmet. Yeah, I knew that. So essentially the way emmet works is if I have a dot, that's just gonna give it a class. So that's kind of unfortunate, but whatever. Live component, I have a module. We're gonna do username for now to test it, and we're gonna have an ID, which is gonna be main current step. We're gonna see if that renders. Okay. Hey, username. I'm gonna do something really ugly for now, but we'll fix it later just to see. Well, that didn't work, then we're not gonna do it. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assign these steps into the mount, and then once those are in the mount, I'm gonna have the current step be or reference this key on the map. And we're gonna try to step through those. So this works. Now what I want to do is I wanna render it. I'm gonna add this here. I'm gonna do this like this. So I'm gonna do socket current username, and I'm gonna render it like this. Steps. The current step, and then the component, and that should give me the same thing. Okay, it's not working. Oh, because I need the steps here. So steps, and this should be steps, next step, and that's working. Okay, beautiful. So I have that now. I'm rendering a live component that is being referenced dynamically here in this module command. So what I want to do now is I'm gonna add a button, and this button, well, I'm gonna add two buttons, and one is gonna be the next button, and one is gonna be the previous button. And what they're gonna do is one of them is gonna trigger the next event, and this is gonna trigger, you guessed it, the previous event. What these two events are gonna do is they're gonna help me step through this. So for that, I'm gonna need a new component, which is gonna be an email component. So it's gonna be live bookmark web live registration email. Dev module to end bookmark web live registration email, and we're gonna use bookmark web live component, and same thing, we just need a render. This needs to take an assigns, and this is gonna render h1. I could also do my little emmet thing, which is like, woo, nice. This is gonna be email. So I should be able to reference that here now. Email, and my component here is gonna be email Let's see if that's okay. So email next. We don't have a next. Previous one. Okay, cool. So that should just render all of this. I haven't added any handles for those events, so if I click the buttons, there should be an error. Beautiful. Basically, yeah, the handle event is private. So let's go ahead and define that handle event. We're gonna handle next. We're gonna do this session thing, and we're gonna do the socket. And so I don't want to deal with dot assign, so I'm just gonna pattern match on that and extract a couple of things. What I want to extract is what I added on the mount. So steps, I'm gonna put it on steps, and current, I'm gonna put it on current. I'm just gonna do a IO inspect on steps, one on current, just for, you know, this is going to return, okay, so I'm gonna do if, I'm gonna check is the next step is nil, then I'm going to return the socket. I'm not gonna do anything. If it's something else that is not nil, it means that there is a next step. This actually is gonna change. This is just gonna submit the form because it means that we got to the end, but for now we're just gonna leave it there. In case there's actually something there, so there is a next step, I'm going to change the current for next, and this should just render the next one, and I think that should work. Let's see. Nope. Okay, so handle event, there should be no reply. Oh, ha ha ha. Of course. So this is a socket. Yeah, that's silly of me. Okay, so that worked. That's fine. Let's see if, this is the current, this is the steps, that's fine. We can get rid of that. We can format this a bit, and we can handle the previous one. And this is essentially the same thing, just with the previous one. So now we should be able to step through the email. If we do the next, that's not going to do anything. If we do the previous one, it's going to be username. Excellent. So that works. So essentially what we accomplish here is, it's simple, but it's also kind of important because that's going to create the basis of what comes next. Essentially, we have a parent component, and in that parent component, we're rendering all these child components, but we're rendering them dynamically. So we're basically doing a wizard using live components that we defined here. So that's fine. That's good. In the next video, we'll make this pretty. We'll make it useful, and we'll actually register a user.